Alright parents, fess up, what is your least favorite thing about your child? My kid can literally talk non-stop for hours. It does annoy me. I've been making an effort to stop what I'm doing and just listen. My nephew lives with me part-time and he only stops talking when he sleeps. He's one of 4 kids when he is with his mom, but an only child at my house. I'll let him talk. He's pretty funny and interesting. Lol, my sister's divorced, but now got fairly decent relationship with the ex. He's got a new woman and a daughter of maybe 3 years old. My sis was picking the little one up for a play date with her half-sister, my niece, 12 years. When she brought her to the house, we were talking about how the trip went. She got into the car and announced, "I either talk or sleep." She did not sleep XD. Apparently she talked non-stop throughout the 20-minute car drive and then continued once in the house when she met her half-sister. Lol. My kid will sometimes just go through a period where everything is "Hey dad, pretend that I am," apostrophe, and it's great because he is using his imagination and being creative and all that. But when it is all day and it's the exact same scenario or slightly different, my god, it can be a punish to feign enthusiasm to match his. Both of my children, actually, they both think being in a lockdown/virtual school situation means they never need to bathe or use deodorant again. Sock balls. He is constantly making balls out of socks and throws them around endlessly. He never has any socks to wear because they are nowhere to be found due to constant sock balling. Drives me insane. It's a good thing he's cute and a really good kid. It could be so much worse at 15. How much has like me? I can correct a stubborn kid, but when it's more like looking in a mirror, that makes it 10 times more irritating, and I have no idea why. No one tells you that having kids is like arguing with yourself for 18 to 20 years. My 4-year is way too much like me. It's hard arguing with a smaller, less emotionally developed version of yourself. All the things that annoy me about my kids are traits they inherited from me, apparently, and pretty annoying. Lack of volume control. Screw volume control. Mute button. Mine can be silent for 20 minutes and the second my wife starts talking to me, it's like a mile a minute until we're done talking, like she needs to be the one heard and nobody else is allowed to talk. My son has decided that he is a secret agent at the same agency as Perry THR Platypus, so now every time I ask him to try something new he says UHM, I already tried that on a mission, so I know I don't like it. When our son was 2, he was a horrible eater and sleeper, just very finicky with his food, and very difficult to keep asleep. We would get so frustrated and sometimes just be distraught with lack of sleep every night. Then we went to the doctor. Turns out he had a minor structural issue in his mouth that made it very hard to eat solid food. He wasn't eating because he physically couldn't, and he wasn't sleeping because he was always hungry. Can I answer as an uncle that does more parenting of the kid than his dead shit father? My nephew adores me. He's autistic, and I'm one of the few people who gets him. But it means anytime I'm around he's attached to my side. That's fine. But he doesn't seem to be able to understand that he can just be around me without having to fill the silence. I'm cool with him playing his Switch with my left arm around him while I browse Facebook with my right. I like conversations. But he feels the need to always be talking, even with nothing at all to talk about, which means 3 to 4 times a day I have him pop his head up and ask whatever random question he can think of in the moment. Like what would happen if Super Mario were blue, or what if black holes weren't black holes, or what's your favorite type of wall? All of these have been asked at one point. He likes to randomly spin with his arms out. I just got backhanded in what used to be my sack in the middle of Walmart. It's the 3rd time this week. I tell people to run my child over if he's being annoying or in the way. You get mixed responses. My favorite was a person who listened and nearly ran his ass over. We high-fived. Now he watches what the hell he's doing. My 4-year always wants me to pretend I'm eating stuff he brings me, like hey mom, eat this banana, and gives me the TV remote. I don't know why, but I hate this game so much that they never turn off the lights when they leave a room. My daughter likes to wait until we are cozy and comfortable before dropping and load in her diaper. My stepdaughter has entered the phase of her life where she wants to know what we're doing at all times, including when I'm sleeping/laying down. 2 weeks ago I took a nap and she got into my face while I was sleeping to confirm I was still sleeping. The good news, I'm happy to experience this now so I can prepare for it later. Eater, she's 5. I'm a woman. That he puts random crap from the floor in his mouth, but he won't eat vegetables, actual food. Myself started putting food on her freshly washed floor when her baby did this. Floor pairs are better than high chair pairs. Oldest, non-stop talking, not like me. Youngest, has a 0 to 150 temper, like me. I hated my oldest daughter's ex-husband. Adore everything about her, but her judgment of people has always been terrible. She's too trusting. Currently it is the scream. Basically she's just started the most god-awful high-pitched scream whenever things are going badly for her, especially when she's frustrated or aging. It's only been the last couple of weeks and we're cracking down on it hard now. Because if you banshee scream over minor things, how do we know if something is really truly wrong when you do it? A boy who cried wolf. It's definitely slowed down in the last day or so since we got stern with her. So hopefully it's ending. But it was not a fun phase. My best friend has 2 kids. He lives away from them sometimes, and when I'm at his place and he's on the phone to his wife, all I can hear in the background is that same high-pitched scream. You could shatter glass with that frequency. Every time I get lonely, because I'm single in an empty house, I remember those screams, and suddenly I'm relieved. How she can't open a can of beans by herself. My daughter is 8, and she's a great kid all around. Couldn't have asked for better except for one thing. She's really anxious and gets scared easily. She's starting to grow out of it, I think. Dogs are one thing she's particularly scared of. Just today we were out walking, and a dog across the street was barking, and she wanted me to pick her up. She was in a complete panic. The dog started coming over, and she started climbing me. I just couldn't carry her on the slushy snow we were on. I'm also only 5 feet 2, and she's already 4 feet 2. The dog, tiny little thing in a cute sweater, 10 pounds at the most. Sigh. Shits on me every time, but never on my wife. The whining. My god. The whining. Middle kid is in the preteen I hate everything phase. Their inability to remember to throw their trash in the actual trash, instead of leaving it lying around all over the house. I recently found what I think was originally an apple core behind my son's tall boy. Can't get the stain out of the carpet. Very simply the noise. I have 3 and never have peace and quiet unless I'm home alone. Silence is so beautiful. My kid has ads and horrible impulse control. Nothing malicious. Just weird stuff and a lot of times annoying or socially inappropriate. I love him so much, and my heart breaks for his struggles now, and when he gets older, we work on it. Right there with ya. Love my kidlet to the moon and back. But just today alone I came across 2 random things he ripped holes in, because he was bored and curious. I wanted to see what was inside. Mom. It's exhausting. For sure. Internet hugs from another ADHD parent with impulse control issues. Also, dude, I get you love hugs, and we are a huggy kind of family, but your friends? Not so much. If you can say no to me tickling you, they get to say no to your hugs, although this one is getting better. Lots of no means no and consent canvas in our house. Threads like this are the best form of birth control. 15-year-old. Discovered memes when he was 14. Yeah, we get all of the memes described to us. Autism doesn't help. Whenever I describe a meme to someone without thinking, I realize how absolutely silly I sound. I can understand how that would start to get taxing, mentally, to deal with all the time. Not a parent, but I'm an older brother that spends a lot of time at home with his little sister. I love her so much, but she's so rude and doesn't understand boundaries or time lapses at all. If you play with her, You have to play with her all the time and she will get angry at you, even if you have played for hours. Sometimes she will start hitting you or insulting you. And when I try to say something, my parents have taught her to tell me I'm not her dad, so I can't correct her and she shouldn't listen to me. Thing is, she doesn't listen to anyone, ever. Dad, guess what? Dad, you know Callum? In my class? Question mark? Apostrophe. Lad, I don't know your classmates. I get you, and your brother's confused, so just move on with the story. I have the opposite problem with my parents. Whenever I tell a story about someone I know, they ask who they are, despite that having no bearing on the story and them having zero frame of reference to understand the answer. I don't know how to answer the question, who's Jimmy? Do you want like his SSN and birth certificate? Same with my stepmom. My friend Brian and I were. Who's Brian? A friend. From where? UHH. We used to work together. Oh. Do I know him? What? Huh. Why wow. No. You don't know him. What's he look like? FFS. Anyway. Brian and I were. Apostrophe. Her stubbornness. His fear to try something new. My kid has autism and this is very much our issue. Just will not try anything new. But once he does and likes it, he won't stop. I try and tell myself sometimes to take it easy and not force teach him things, but it's so hard to see him do the same old stuff over and over again. How he's making my wife nauseous. Pretty annoying for a negative 7-month-old. Nice try, son. The lack of self-preservation instincts. Trying to teach small children not to do something because it can kill or severely injure them is a constant and exhausting battle. I can't make a phone call without my 9-year-old trying to be the next ninja warrior or something. He can even be hyper-focused on a video game or something else that takes a good deal of focus. But the minute I step away to make a call, I'm a chronic pacer when I talk on the phone. So I like to go out of the way. It's on like Donkey Kong. And he only does it if I step away for a call. No matter how discreet I try to be. Go to the bathroom for like 10 minutes. Nothing. Go cook dinner. Zip. Go do some chores. Nada. Need to make a 2-minute phone call to check in on something. Time for my kid to train for the next triathlon. And the longer I'm on the call, the more hyped up he will get, until he eventually needs to tell me everything he's ever thought about in the last 9 weeks at about 1.5 times normal speaking speed, while he continues to bounce around, even if he has to yell through a locked door. It's kinda funny in some ways, but definitely not in the moment when I'm trying to make important calls, and most of my calls are, as I can text family and friends, when I need to listen to the person on the other end, and not have them repeat themselves like 10 times. It's annoying as hell. Not my child, but my younger half-brothers. The oldest, 9 meters, gets frustrated when he can't do a thing, and gets very angry. Usually ends up quitting, which is a shame. He's super bright, but one little stump in the way and he just wants to give up. The youngest, 7 meters, is a huge sore loser. But the worst thing is the rambling. He can talk forever about nothing. He'll tell a story that has more branches and side plots than Matt Mercer's Critical Role. And that's just telling me about his friend Carter's new cat. I love them both though, more than anything. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.